When the first rumors started to spread, claiming that the Tesla Model 2 had been canceled, many thought it was the end of a bold promise. But anyone who knows Elon Musk's mindset already imagined. He's not the type to abandon a revolutionary project halfway through. The truth is, the Model 2 remains firmly in Tesla's plans. And what's happening behind the scenes is even more interesting than any alarmist headline could suggest. While many believe Tesla would simply throw in the towel, the company was actually preparing the ground in a smarter and more strategic way than ever. Instead of building brand new factories all over the world, as many expected, Tesla looked inward and asked a simple yet powerful question. Why spend billions and lose years on new structures if we already have the perfect base right here? Thus, the famous Project E41 was born, a plan that essentially repurposes the existing production lines at Fremont and Austin, the same ones currently building the Model 3 and Model Y, to bring the Model 2 to life. And honestly, this idea has that practical brilliance that is so typical of Musk. Optimize what already works and speed up what's still to come. Of course, repurposing production lines isn't as glamorous as inaugurating a giant gigafactory with fireworks. But in this case, the choice is genius. Every minute saved in construction is another minute invested in research, development, and, most importantly, getting the car on the streets as fast as possible. In such a competitive electric vehicle market, agility is a powerful weapon, and Musk knows that better than anyone. Sometimes, doing the basics really well is the boldest move one can make. Those who have followed Tesla for a long time know that these unexpected moves are almost a pattern for the company. When everyone thinks Tesla is going left, it goes right, and curiously, it arrives first. By keeping the Model 2 in the pipeline without needing massive additional investments, Tesla not only reduces financial risks, but also shields the project from global fluctuations like high interest rates, material shortages, and trade wars that have made the automotive market feel like a roller coaster. Another interesting point about this strategy is the speed. Building a new factory can take 2 to 3 years at the very least. Adapting an existing production line, just a few months. It's a brutal difference that puts the Model 2 in an absurdly advantageous position, especially now that the market is hungry for affordable electric vehicle options. And best of all, this decision also helps Tesla anticipate important tax incentives, which will be crucial in the coming years to keep prices low. Just imagine the situation. While competitors are bogged down in expensive factory projects and endless environmental permits, Tesla will already be delivering the first Model 2 units to customers. It's like running a marathon and discovering that you started 2 kilometers ahead without anyone noticing. This is the magic of someone playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. And there's no denying, this type of strategic vision is one of the reasons Tesla still leads the game, even under heavy market pressure. While the world is still digesting the confirmation that the Model 2 is alive and well, another piece of the puzzle grabs attention: the price. Since the first announcement, Elon Musk's promise was bold: to put a Tesla on the market for $25,000. But now, behind the scenes, even more tempting rumors are circulating. The price might even drop to around $17,000 in some strategic markets. Sounds too good to be true? That's exactly the kind of reaction Musk loves to provoke, and he has a well-structured plan to make it happen without risking Tesla's financial health. It all starts with a radical shift in mentality. Instead of pouring rivers of money into luxurious new factories, Tesla chose to minimize heavy investments and focus on what truly matters: optimizing every stage of production. Every dollar saved on infrastructure is a dollar that can be used to reduce the final cost of the car. And when it comes to price competitiveness, That makes all the difference. Elon Musk seems to understand better than anyone that to win the next phase of the electric revolution, it's not enough to create amazing cars. They must also be accessible to as many people as possible. Another clever trick in this strategy is to maximize production within the United States. In times of trade tensions with China and heavy tariffs on imported vehicles and components, building the Model 2 on American soil is a masterstroke. It not only avoids unpleasant surprises with import taxes, but also positions the car to receive all the tax benefits offered by the U.S. government, especially the coveted $7,500 credit under the Inflation Reduction Act. This combination of incentives could drive the final price down in a way no competitor will easily match. And it doesn't stop there. There's a detail that many still haven't noticed. By ensuring that most components and batteries are made in the US or in allied regions, Tesla not only dodges tariffs, but also secures supply chain priority in an increasingly competitive market. Anyone who has tried to buy a new car recently knows how parts shortages can delay deliveries for months. The Model 2, with its locally optimized supply chain, promises to be a major exception to this chaos, and that, without a doubt, will become a huge competitive advantage once orders start to explode. The idea of launching a Tesla at such an aggressive price may seem suicidal to some traditional automakers, but for Tesla, it's simply the natural evolution of the original plan. From the beginning, the vision was always clear: start with expensive models to finance the cheaper ones later. The Roadster financed the Model S, which financed the Model 3, which now paves the way for the Model 2. A carefully planned staircase, where each step funds the next. Seen from this angle, it's hard not to admire the coherence and patience Musk has demonstrated over the years. If the Model 2's price already seems like a miracle, what's behind it is even more fascinating. Tesla is about to change the rules of the game once again by introducing a set of technologies that drastically cut production costs, without sacrificing quality or performance. One of these innovations is the switched reluctance motor, or simply SRM. It might sound complicated, but the idea is simple. Create a powerful motor without relying on expensive rare earth magnets, which mainly come from China and are getting increasingly expensive and scarce. Using the SRM motor is a masterstroke. Unlike conventional motors that use rare and costly magnetic materials, this type of motor operates purely on basic electromagnetic principles, attracting and repelling magnetic fields sequentially. The result? Fewer expensive components, less external dependence, and, of course, a drastic reduction in production costs. And there's more. This motor promises to be more durable and require less maintenance over time. It's one of those solutions that seem obvious once someone dares to implement them for real. And it's not just the motor where Tesla is innovating. One of the best-kept secrets, until now, is the intensive use of gigacasting to build the Model 2. Instead of assembling hundreds of separate parts for the car's body, as traditional automakers do, Tesla developed giant machines that literally mold large sections of the car into single solid pieces of aluminum. This not only cuts welding and assembly costs, but also makes the structure lighter and stronger. Less weight, more efficiency, and less money spent. A virtuous cycle that's hard to beat. Gigacasting is so revolutionary that, to give an idea, it reduces body production costs by up to 40%. 40%. It's a gigantic leap that most traditional automakers haven't even started to implement. While competitors are stuck in outdated processes, Tesla is literally shaping the future. And as a bonus, it even improves the car's performance because a more rigid structure enhances dynamic behavior and safety in the event of an accident. It's like hitting 3 birds with 1 stone. Another curious point that few notice is the impact of this innovation on assembly time. A car that used to take dozens of hours to assemble can now be built in a fraction of that time. In a market where every hour of work means money out the door, this efficiency changes everything. More cars rolling off the line in less time, with less labor needed, and with superior structural quality. It's not just a revolution inside Tesla. It's a revolution in how the entire automotive industry will have to rethink its processes. While the structure of the Model 2 is set to shape the future of automotive production, its interior promises a silent and extremely practical revolution for drivers. Unlike traditional cars, where every trim choice is practically a permanent sentence, the Model 2 will arrive with a modular concept that feels like something from another planet. Imagine a car whose interior behaves like a giant Lego set, where you can choose, adapt, and upgrade parts as your needs change, without having to swap cars or spend a fortune on premium versions. What does this mean in practice? Buyers of the Model 2 will be able to start with a simpler configuration, paying less upfront, but keeping the freedom to personalize the car later. Want heated or ventilated seats? Install them later. Dreaming of a larger display panel? To swap it out hassle-free. This modular upgrade system promises to completely transform the experience of car ownership. Instead of feeling stuck with what you bought, you'll have the power to mold the car to fit your life over time. Another curious detail is that these upgrades won't require endless dealership visits. Tesla is planning quick installation kits, available online or through partner stores, that could be installed without major complications. This way, swapping out the sound system, adding new driving modes, or upgrading the interior finish can become a weekend project instead of a months-long saga. It's like the car gains new chapters throughout its life without needing to change the model. This modularity also solves an old problem many people face: paying high prices for option packages filled with features you didn't even want. With the Model 2, that's a thing of the past. If someone wants just a multimedia center upgrade, they pay only for that. If they want electric seats, they add just the seats. No need to also get bigger wheels or LED headlights they never plan to buy. It's a fairer, more flexible, and above all, smarter philosophy for the consumer. And of course, Tesla didn't forget about older drivers or people with special needs. Rumors suggest that there will be an optional senior mode in the Model 2, bringing larger fonts on the screen, simplified menus, and even more intuitive voice commands. A gesture of inclusion that shows the Model 2 isn't just another little car for young urbanites. It wants to be a Tesla for everyone, without exceptions. You can easily imagine how much this kind of accessibility will make a difference for those who rely on their car for daily independence. If the Model 2's modular interior already sounds like a revolution, its efficiency and low-maintenance promise to win even more hearts. After all, who hasn't been annoyed by those unexpected workshop bills? Oil changes, spark plugs, filters, and all those little maintenance costs that add up into a financial black hole? Tesla seems to have looked at all these headaches and decided that with the Model 2, it was time to put an end to it. The idea is simple yet powerful. A car that practically takes care of itself, with maintenance costs up to 30% lower than conventional electric vehicles. It all starts with the nature of electric vehicles themselves. Without an internal combustion engine, oil changes, belts, air filters, and fuel filters are immediately eliminated. But Tesla wanted to go further. The Model 2 will use even more simplified and resistant components, designed to last much longer before needing any kind of intervention. A clear example of this is the optimized regenerative braking, which not only recharges the battery while decelerating, but also drastically reduces brake wear. Instead of changing brake pads every 30,000 kilometers, Many owners might only need to think about it after 100,000 kilometers. This drastic reduction in maintenance is not just a matter of convenience. It's a matter of real savings. Imagine being able to drive for years without visiting a workshop except for occasional checkups. And when maintenance is needed, the Tesla app itself will notify the owner, sending smart alerts only for what really needs attention. No standard checkup stuffed with unnecessary items just to inflate the bill. This smart integration already exists in models like the Model 3 and Model Y, but it's expected to be even more refined in the Model 2. Another point showing how the Model 2 was designed to be economical to the core is its energy efficiency. Even with a simpler motor, Tesla managed to improve energy usage, ensuring that each kilowatt-hour charge delivers more kilometers driven. Internal sources report gains of 10% to 15% in efficiency compared to current standards for electric vehicles in the same category. It's like having a car that sips less energy to cover the same distance. A bonus that will certainly make a difference in the wallets of those charging at home or at public stations. Of course, the battery has also been optimized to keep costs low and lifespan long, thanks to advances in materials and more efficient thermal management. The Model 2's battery pack is expected to last well over 300,000 kilometers before needing replacement. Honestly, for most drivers, this means they'll likely never have to worry about changing the battery during the car's lifetime. Plus, Tesla is already working to lower the future cost of battery replacements, using modules that are easier and cheaper to swap individually if needed. At this point, it's clear that the Model 2 was designed to be much more than just a cheap car. But perhaps what's most impressive is the level of performance Tesla promises to deliver with this machine. Instead of being just an okay city car, the Model 2 promises to smack the competition with numbers that, frankly, many wouldn't believe if it weren't coming straight from Tesla. We're talking about 240 horsepower and acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 5.9 seconds. That's sports car level performance, but in an entry-level model. And that agility isn't just for show on the spec sheet. Anyone who's ever driven a Tesla knows that instant torque from an electric motor completely changes the driving experience. In the case of the Model 2, even being Tesla's most affordable model, the response will be quick, smooth, and powerful, perfect for both city traffic lights and highway overtakes. And for driving enthusiasts, knowing the car reacts with this liveliness in any situation is simply addictive. It'll be hard to go back to anything else after feeling the difference. Another factor that makes all this magic happen is the significant weight reduction work Tesla put into the Model 2. Thanks to the clever use of aluminum and high-strength steel, the car is lighter than direct competitors like the Chevrolet Bolt and Hyundai Kona Electric. We're talking about roughly 220 pounds less, which translates into sharper handling, shorter braking distances, and firmer cornering. It's the kind of feeling you don't just read on the spec sheet. You actually feel it at your fingertips on the wheel. And the range? That's another area where the Model 2 promises to shine. Even with a relatively compact 55 kilowatt-hour battery, expectations point to a real-world range of about 430 kilometers per charge. This beats rivals with larger batteries, like the Bolt EV and Nissan Leaf Plus. In other words, the Model 2 can go further while consuming less energy, which not only improves the daily driving experience, but also reduces the cost per kilometer traveled. A huge win for anyone seeking economy without sacrificing freedom. For those worried about charging times, Tesla doesn't disappoint. The Model 2 will have a fast charging capacity of up to 150 kilowatts, meaning it'll be possible to charge up to 80% of the battery in about 25 minutes. Compared to the nearly hour-long charging times of many competitors, this is practically enough time for a quick coffee and a snack, and you're back on the road with a full charge. For those living the daily hustle, that kind of agility makes all the difference and makes the car even more practical and travel-friendly. After talking so much about performance and agility, it would be impossible not to think about safety. And this is where the Model 2 continues to surprise. Because honestly, with many entry-level cars, what usually happens is the opposite. To lower the price, brands end up cutting crucial protection features. But Tesla decided to take a different path. In the Model 2, safety was treated as a priority from the very first draft of the project. And we're not just talking about pretty numbers for marketing purposes. We're talking about serious engineering to ensure real-world protection. The Model 2 was designed to achieve 5-star ratings in both frontal and side impact tests, according to the rigorous standards of NHTSA. To achieve this, Tesla completely restructured the front subframe, redesigning the crumple zones to better absorb impact energy. This new architecture, combined with the rigidity provided by gigacasting the body, creates an invisible shield around the occupants, offering effective protection without compromising weight or performance. It's like wearing a bulletproof vest, but without carrying any extra burden. One of the subtlest and most brilliant aspects of this new generation of safety is the improved visibility. It might seem like a small detail when you read the spec sheet, but in daily driving, it changes everything. Tesla slimmed down the car's A-pillars, the ones flanking the windshield, by 30% and expanded the windshield by nearly 15 centimeters. In practice, this drastically reduces blind spots, giving drivers a much wider and safer field of view. It's an invisible improvement on paper, but one that could prevent real accidents out on the road. In addition, the side mirrors were redesigned to be larger and more aerodynamic, combined with a new adjustment system that uses both intuitive physical buttons and screen options. Setting up the mirrors becomes much quicker and more practical. Anyone who has struggled to find the right button to adjust a mirror while driving knows how important this is. In the Model 2, this experience has been designed to be so natural that even someone who has never driven a Tesla before will feel comfortable within minutes. Speaking of visibility, the Model 2 sensor package has also been upgraded. It now features 8 cameras, 1 radar, and 5 ultrasonic sensors working together to create a 360 degrees perception bubble around the car. And this isn't just for automatic parking or autopilot functions. Even at low speeds, the system remains alert to pedestrians, cyclists, obstacles, and surrounding vehicles. With improved algorithms, Tesla managed to increase object detection coverage by 20% compared to the previous generation.